Let me start by, in all sincerity, saying that I have the greatest respect for Chairman Miller and the work that he has been doing. I follow his comments and his remarks and his committee regularly because the issue of veterans is an issue that is near and dear to my heart, as it is to so many of us. And I have great respect for his views and his expertise, and I certainly, while I may differ in my opinion, I certainly would never, ever think that his motives are impure, because they are not. He is very sincere and very driven to help. But here is what I don't understand. For veterans across the country, they don't care, in my view, if the first two letters on a bill are HR or SR. That makes no difference, top side or bottom, to any veteran that I've ever talked to. And I would urge my colleagues to talk to as many veterans as they can and to ask them specifically, does it matter to you? Does it matter to you if this is a Senate bill or a House bill? I guarantee you that every veteran across the country will say, no, it doesn't matter. And so the idea that we are stuck here at this point in the process because the House wants a House bill and the Senate would like a Senate bill, frankly, that's ludicrous. It's offensive to the veterans who have served our country.
Very simple. Will the gentleman yield?
I'm happy to.
It's not a House bill or a Senate bill question, because this is a House bill that the Senate amended. So it's not a matter of whether it's a House bill, House resolution, Senate bill, Senate resolution. It is a House resolution that the Senate has amended. Thank you for yielding.
Absolutely, Mr. Chairman. I'm happy to yield. But I would point out that part of the conversation that we've had is asking the Senate to take action on a bill that the House sent over, when that's even a better argument for this motion, because the House bill is already back from the Senate in the House. And we can settle this question once and for all by instructing our conferees to accept that language. And I would urge that we have 26 additional facilities, and I would commit to the chairman that I will do all I can to make sure that it's not just 26 facilities, that if it needs to be 27, I'm happy to do that. I have worked in a very bipartisan fashion with the Democratic and Republican members of the Armed Services Committee, particularly the freshman members of this committee,
Would the gentleman
in order
yield
to
again?
do that. Mr. Chairman, I'm always happy to yield.
Thank you very much. The problem that we're going to have is that a conference report is a privileged report, and it's not amendable. So you will not be able to add an additional clinic in the conference report. Even if we recede to the Senate position, we will be stuck with 26 clinics. That's why it's critical that the House bill that's been languishing for 7 months, that's over there, be passed and sent to the President today.
Mr. Speaker, again, I'm always happy. I love the process, and I'm a huge believer in the democratic system. But I will tell you that the idea that we're stuck at 26 and we're stuck at 26 forever is not a credible argument, because there are other vehicles in the process that would be just as rapid and just as fast if we would get over this idea, this pride of authorship, and if we would all work together on a bipartisan basis to fashion a solution that all veterans can live with. And that is incredibly important. For me, this is a starting point, not an ending point. It is important, it seems to me, and I hope to do that by example, Mr. Speaker, that we stay away from the fingerprinting and the blame game, that we not be guilty of the fiery rhetoric. I've never understood, as a West Texan, my instinct is always to put fire out. It is never my instinct to add additional fuel. And so the partisan fires that rage in this building, it seems to me, need to be put out. And the interests of the American people, and in this case the American veteran, need to be put first and foremost and at the front and center of everything that we are doing. We shouldn't stand and salute the VA, as the chairman has indicated. I agree with that. But we should stand and salute every single veteran who has served and every single veteran who deserves health care and who doesn't get it. And we should apologize, Mr. Speaker, to every single veteran who has stood in line for those months and months at the VA and not been able to make it through that small funnel. And we should apologize to them if we don't broaden that funnel to allow more people to get more care. Yeah, there may be changes to the system, but those changes to the system are further down the hall, further down the way, further down the road, further ever. Today, here, we're talking about additional VA facilities. That one question we can settle. We can settle tonight or tomorrow, whenever the vote is on this, and we can make sure that we expand that pipeline so that we don't try to push so many veterans through this really narrow pipeline so that some of them get squeezed out of the system. We should make that pipeline bigger so that more people get served. And each of us, Republican, Democrat, Independent, Libertarian, Agnostic, each of us should be proud of that vote. Stand up and salute our veterans, stand up and salute our people who served, and stand up and admit that they need access to health care. That's what this motion does. Mr. Speaker, and I'm on that note,